We're winning all over the country. You just don't hear about it on the mainstream media.
This is Mike Lindell, as I'm sure most people already know. He claims that we, presumably the conservative movement, are winning all over the country. You just don't hear about it because of the conservative media. Okay. All right, let's take a look, shall we? Mike Lindell actually ran for public office. I don't know if you guys knew this. Maybe not public office. It was RNC chair. So he was trying to basically become the leader of the Republican Party. He lost, but as a result of running and getting, I think, 2 votes or something like that out of the 300 he needed, I don't remember, Ronna McDaniel, the person who actually won, decided, you know what, I'm going to give him what he asked for because he's not asking for that much anyways. I'm just going to let him run an election crime bureau at the RNC. He can run an election crimes bureau. So that's what Mike Lindell's been up to lately. He's been running the ECB, I guess what it's called. How is he finding the data that he is kind of folding into his election crimes bureau movement or organization or whatever? Listen to this clip, late June 2023. He tells us exactly how he's coming across his information that he's using to determine if something is an election crime or not.
You know, Steve, it never surprises me, the stuff I'm hearing that I hear every day. Just yesterday on my show, I had this gal from New York, and
Okay, so break it down sentence by sentence. He's on his show, right? He has this gal from New York, presumably a call-in show, right? Gal from New York calls in to talk to him, and
found out. Here's how we're not hearing all the stuff that's going on or that even went on in our country. Here in New York had 357,000 more votes than voters in the 2020 election. Now,
so what he just said, as the head of the Election Crimes Bureau, is that he had somebody presumably call into his show and tell him that they happen to know for a fact. How they know is beyond me. That they know that New York had 350,000 more votes than voters. Did he check that? Did he look at the voter rolls? Did he ask for voter data? Did he look at audit results? Of course he didn't do any of that. Does he even know how many voters there are in New York State? Of course he doesn't. The head of the Election Crimes Bureau of the RNC hears somebody tell him there are 350,000 more votes in New York than there are voters, and he believes it instantly. No questions asked. You know what? I'll buy it. But when somebody tries to sell him literally anything else, you know, maybe gay people aren't so bad. He crumbles. He falls to pieces. He can't handle it. Won't have any of it. Just ridiculous, dude. This guy, this is a ridiculous human being, and the look on his face right now really sums up him perfectly in a single shot, right? It really shows you what's going on behind those eyes. Quick interjection. I won't take long. I just wanted to tell you guys, YouTube's algorithm operates off of a few factors. Watch time, whether or not you subscribe, and whether or not you like something. So if you really want to help my channel, I would appreciate it if you guys watch the video to the end. If you don't watch it to the end, just watch a little bit longer than you would have otherwise. I would appreciate that very much. All right, let's get back to the video.
I just found that out. I thought I was finding everything out. I found it all back then. And I thought Pennsylvania was the only state that pulled that stunt.
Nobody pulled that stunt, Mike. Literally no states had more votes than voters. That did not happen anywhere. If that happened somewhere, it would be big news. We can follow it around. We can check the vote totals. We can look at how many registered voters there are. Watch this. I'll show you a little trick. Check this out. You ever heard of the Google machine? The electric Google machine? How many registered voters are there in Pennsylvania? Let's see, Pennsylvania.gov. Just click on this and find out how many registered voters are there. And just like that, I went to Pennsylvania's website and downloaded a spreadsheet telling me exactly how many voters there are in each county, how many counties there are, everything that I need to know. A total of 8,599,183 registered voters, apparently, in Pennsylvania. That's what it appears to me. Now, did Mike Lindell even bother to look it up? It literally took me 15 seconds. Of course he didn't bother looking it up. Okay, so as we saw in the spreadsheet from Pennsylvania's website, pa.gov, there are 8.5 million registered voters there, right? And how many votes were cast in Pennsylvania in 2020? Looks like it's 4,216,030 ballots cast in person on Election Day, 2.6 million mail-in and absentee ballots cast, and 126,000 provisional ballots. Okay, so if you remember, we had 8.6 million voters in Pennsylvania, give or take, according to the spreadsheet we downloaded from pa.gov, which, by the way, is where we're getting this information from, too. Let's see how many voters there actually were. 4216030 plus 2637065 plus 126573. So it looks like the provisional ballots added to the mail-in ballots, added to ballots cast in person on Election Day, add up to 6,979,668. And how many registered voters were there in Pennsylvania? According to this spreadsheet, if I'm reading it correctly, which maybe I'm not, my editor will let me know and I will re-record if I'm mistaken, 8,599,183. If I'm not mistaken, 6.9 million is smaller than 8.5 million. How about that? It took me 15 seconds to find out that Mike Lindell was full of it. He claimed that there were more votes than voters in Pennsylvania. And were there? No, there weren't. Not even close. In fact, there were far fewer votes than voters in Pennsylvania by a factor of, by about 1 million, more than 1 million, 1.5 million. Seems to me there were not more votes cast in Pennsylvania than there are voters in Pennsylvania. Fascinating, huh? How about that? It literally took me 15 seconds to find out. It literally took me seconds to find this information. Through the power of the internet, through the electronic Google machine. And Mike Lindell doesn't apparently know how to use it, doesn't want to try, doesn't understand it, scared of it. I don't know. What? Why doesn't he just look? This is the head of our election crimes unit, okay? Election crimes unit of the RNC. And he hears something from somebody and he doesn't even fact check it. He just repeats it blindly.
I did answer your question.
No, you did not. You did not answer
the
question of why the president asked the White House press secretary to come out in front of the podium for the first time and utter a falsehood. Why did he do that? It undermines the credibility of the entire White House press office on day one.
Don't be so overly dramatic about it, Chuck. You're saying it's a falsehood, and they're giving Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that.
Alternative facts. Alternative facts.
Our press secretary gave alternative facts to that. But the point remains.
Wait a minute.
Alternative facts. That seems to be the headspace that Lindell lives in 24/7. Alternative fact land. So as it turns out, Lindell is in a little bit of financial trouble, not doing too hot at this immediate moment, not least of which is probably because he's facing $1 billion lawsuit, and that's more money than he has. So, oops. Yeah, next time, try not slandering people wildly with absolutely no evidence to back it up. That's a free legal tip from me to you. You don't owe me a penny for that one. Just take that one for free. So anyways, Lindell is in bad financial shape right now, like really bad financial shape. And so he goes on Ben in mid-March 2023. There's a little bit of a structure that I want to give you here, so check this out. This video is important to understand the next one.
It's about, I guess, your loan, the loan you took out at My Pillow. People are all over you about this.
So he got a loan to keep My Pillow open, which is his company, right? Because he's hemorrhaging money, apparently, because he's not selling enough to stay profitable.
Yeah, last year actually was 3 separate loans as the machine companies continue to sue us for billions of dollars.
Machine companies being Dominion and Smartmatic, yeah. And they won their lawsuit against Fox for $750 million. And guess what, Mike? You're probably going to have to pay up too.
And we had to borrow almost $10 million at My Pillow. We're a company. We're an employee-owned company. It just baffles me, Steve. You've got all these companies, these machine companies out there, these voting machine companies that nobody even knew their name before, but everybody protects them.
Nobody knew their name before. Before what, Mike? Tell us what you're talking about here. Before what? Before you slandered them. Before you claimed that they worked for the Maduro regime or whatever the hell it was he said. Before you claimed that Dominion was flipping votes for certain candidates unfairly. You remember all that? The thing you're being sued over right now? Yeah. No one knew who they were before you lied about them. That's when we found out about it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Correct. And that's the crux of the issue here.
And yet you attack a USA company, My Pillow, and
FYI, Dominion and Smartmatic are also U.S. companies. But you see what he did there? Another little rhetorical trick. He wants you to believe that Dominion and Smartmatic, the 2 companies that produce voting machines that were used in some elections in 2016, 2020, some others, he wants you to believe that those voting machines were manufactured in other countries. In, where was it? He claimed, I don't remember, Venezuela, I think. And the votes are counted in Germany and all kinds of other nonsense. It was simply a lie. I don't even remember what all of his lies are now. Anyways, he wants you to believe that Smartmatic and Dominion are not U.S. companies, but his company is a U.S. company, and it's going down the drain right now. Hard. This employee-owned company, keep that phrase in mind. Employee-owned company. Remember that. He defended it as an employee-owned company.
And yet you attack a USA company, My Pillow, and my employees, and it's just disgusting.
Just disgusting, right. Well, now, as of late March 2023, he appears as though he's selling slippers out the back of his truck at this point. Like he's a complete train wreck at this point.
And we still have some of those all-season slippers left at $25 a pair, to thank all of you out there.
Dude, he is shilling those slippers hard.
For the great, for supporting us through all this. My employees, we've lost all our box stores, our shopping channels. We get attacked every single day, and My Pillow should not have to be attacked when they're protecting companies out there that we never heard the names of before, which I don't need to name, all the voting machine companies, but...
Oh, please name them. Please, lay it on me. Tell me. I don't know. I don't know which voting companies. I'm unfamiliar. I've never heard their names before. Please tell me. I want to know who you're talking about, Mike. God, dude. This guy is in bad shape, and I am eating this up. You know, I don't usually revel in somebody else's suffering, but this guy deserves it, okay? He deserves to shill slippers out the back of his truck. By the time Dominion's done with him, they'll own the truck, too. And the slippers. Hopefully, if we're lucky. So anyways, you remember that whole employee-owned company thing that he touted around? We're a USA employee-owned company, remember? Well, he goes to this Trump rally recently, mid-May 2023. He goes to this Trump rally, right? He does this interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend, Brian Glenn, that's his name. Brian Glenn. Okay, yeah. So Brian Glenn, Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend. Can you imagine being the boyfriend of Marjorie Taylor Greene? I am so tempted right now to really dig into being the boyfriend of Marjorie Taylor Greene. But we're here to talk about Lindell, so let's continue. He interviews with Brian Glenn, Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend, to talk about MyPillow. Listen to this, mid-May 2023.
What we're doing with prank speech within the next couple weeks, could be for 2 to 4 weeks, we're offering stock to the public. This is
And you're offering stock to the public. No longer employee-owned, sounds to me, huh?
offering stock to the public. This is going to be amazing. We're offering stock to the public. I want every person out there to have a little piece of the pie for our voice for this country. With the money that I use to save this country that I've been out spending, I've spent over $40 million.
Unbelievable. Hang on a second. He spent over $40 million.
$40 million I've spent and I need help. You know, we need help, but we need help making the voice bigger. And we need help. The money that and you'll see this when this happens. I can't tell the details. The lawyer said, I will only let you tell this much. You know?
The SAC.
Oh my God, dude. This is just, this is bad. Okay. So he's saying that he claimed to be employee owned originally. I'm not even sure how his company is structured or if I believe that at all. But okay. Now I guess he's going public. He's doing an IPO. He's selling stock to the public, going to be valuated and all that other garbage. And then he's going to try to raise funds to reinvest into the company. And what's he doing with company funds right now is my real question. No need to wonder. Just loaded up our question gun. Let's go answer hunting. If I remember correctly, he told us what he was doing with his MyPillow funds.
Save this country that I've been out spending. I've spent over $40 million.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So he spent over $40 million, quote unquote, saving this country, i.e., spreading election lies. That's what he's been doing, spreading election lies, getting himself in more legal hot water. And he was an employee-owned company, which he wore as a badge of pride. And now he's opening it up to the public so that the public can buy stock. And he can use even more money to spread election lies. That is a genius plan if I've ever seen it. Check it out. Same interview, couple minutes later, mid-May 2023.
Let's talk real quickly about what you talked about, the crime. And when can...
Right, remember, he's the leader of the election crime unit by Ronna McDaniel. Like, she gave him that position, right?
Let's talk real quickly about what you talked about, the crime. And when can we expect that?
Okay, this is real important. That you can go to electioncrimebureau.com. The Election Crime Bureau I formed about a month and a half ago now. And within 2 weeks, that's why I say we're getting together now.
Wait, okay, within 2 weeks. So we're getting some time frames now, right? So it sounds to me that he started the Election Crime Bureau through the RNC, through Ronna McDaniel or whatever, February 2023, thereabouts, right? This interview was mid-May, I think, 2023. He said within a couple of weeks, we would have some results, right? Been a little bit more than a couple of weeks. Do we have the results yet? Of course not. God, this dude. Okay, if there's one thing you should know about Mike Lindell, it is failed deadlines at every turn. Last deadline he gave us was a couple of weeks, and that has come and gone a long time ago. Check this one out. Late June 2023. This is a couple of weeks later, right? A minute ago, it was mid-May, and he said in a couple of weeks, we're going to have results for you. This is a couple weeks right here. What he's doing on Bannon. Late June 2023. Let's see what he has to say in a couple of weeks. This should be the results we're looking for, right? The Election Crime Bureau results. He said we're forthcoming in a couple of weeks.
Correct?
It's the plan to save our country. It really is, everybody. It's August 16th and 17th.
Now, wait a minute now. We started in February, right? And then we ended up in May when it was going to be a couple of weeks. Now we're in June, and he's telling us it's going to be August. This guy is the king of fake predictions, false claims, telling you something's going to happen when it's simply not. This guy's the king of lying through his teeth, which, by the by, is why he's in so much legal hot water at the moment with Dominion. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, so I guess he's moved it up again. Started in May, moved to June, and now it's August. Go on.
17th. This is the Election Crime Bureau Summit. The plan will be revealed and all this other stuff people are talking about. We got to do this in the elections and we got to do that. This plan has never been done before. It's never been even suggested before. And when you get up on August 18th, you're going to wake up and go, this is the greatest thing ever. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or who you are. You're going to have so much hope.
I bet. Totally. I bet. August 18th, apparently. Okay, 2023. I'm going to wake up that morning and I'm going to think to myself, Democrat or Republican? I have so much hope now because of this guy right here, Mike Lindell. He's given me so much hope. Totally. I'll mark it down in my calendar. Election Crime Bureau. Seriously. They have a logo and everything. This guy is shameless. You know, honestly, here's the thing, okay? I've talked about this lawsuit a couple of times now. Let me just elaborate a little bit. Fox News was sued by Dominion and Smartmatic and a bunch of other people, and they had to settle with Dominion out of court. They were sued for $1 billion for defamation by Dominion. If you're unfamiliar with the suit, I'll just start from zero. Well, Fox News settled for $750 million. That's bad. Oh boy, is that bad. Well, they sued Mike Lindell also. Dominion sued Lindell. Now, Lindell doesn't have anywhere near that kind of money to give to Dominion. It would destroy the guy. Okay, he talks all the time about being an addict. He used to be on crack and all this stuff. He'd be right back there on the street with nothing after this lawsuit was over with Dominion. Seriously. This is real. But you know what a defense is to defamation? An honestly held belief that you are telling the truth can get you out of it. It depends. You can use an honestly held belief as a defense. So I'm not convinced that Lindell really believes that there are any election crimes going on. But I'll tell you one thing. If he's not convinced of these crimes, I am convinced that he's trying to make everybody think he's crazy. Because then he won't owe that $1 billion that he doesn't have. I mean, he's been going on every program he possibly could since the lawsuit started, honestly, spreading this nonsense when it was very obviously nonsense. July 14th, 2022, he goes on Flashpoint to talk about all this garbage.
It's all going to change on August 20th and 21st, everybody. It's going to be...
Wait, August 20th and 21st. Wait a minute. Hold on. So a minute ago, he was telling us it's going to be August 18th, 2023. What happened in August of 2022? Absolutely nothing. Just like what happened in May of 2023 and June of 2023. Nothing. And what's going to happen in August of 2023. We're going to be left watching this guy flounder and claim it's just 2 weeks away. Just wait. Just sit here and wait. Just wait around. You'll see. Just stick it out. Couple more weeks.
Everybody, it's going to be an education to the world. And that's I'm so happy right now that every day our word gets bigger and bigger. Yep. Flashpoint, everywhere else, all these platforms, we're getting the word out. It's like they tell two friends and they tell two friends and so on and so on.
I think he's trying to convince everybody he's crazy. I really do, honestly. Here's another failed prediction that he gave us, mid-January 2022. You remember this one?
Everything you're going to see over these next 7 months.
7 months. January 2022. So we're talking January 2022 to July 2022, right? Did anything happen in those months? No. Of course it didn't. He was full of it all along. Okay, what are we going to expect from January to July 2022, Mike? Lay it on me.
Going to see over these next 7 months to get rid of the machines. You're going to see the Supreme Court case coming out. All these great things, everybody. By the way, you can find more at frankspeech.com.
This is all made up. There was no Supreme Court case. There was none of this.
I'll put that out there. There are so many. I'm more optimistic today than I have been yesterday, the day before that. I'm on an incline like this. Why? Because it's so amazing. All the things that we already have all the pieces of the puzzle. And you talk about evidence. We had enough evidence to put everybody in prison for life, 300 and some million people.
Okay, the entire population of the United States? Is that what he's saying? He has enough evidence to put away literally every man, woman, and child in the United States? The country has 325 million people in it, give or take. He's saying 300 million people committed election crimes? And an election that had a total of, 150 million voters? Maybe? Come back to reality with the rest of us, Mike. Well, that's really the question then, isn't it? Does he really know what he's doing? And he's trying to make us believe that he's crazy so that he can get out of this lawsuit? Or is he really crazy? It's so hard to know for sure. And then there's this classic. So the last one, he gave us a 7-month time frame where things were going to happen. Court cases coming out, Supreme Court overturning this and that. Never happened, of course. Then there's this little ditty right here, early March 2022. Another failed prediction.
I've been working on it 5 months. It's a class action lawsuit against all machines and that they're defective devices, okay? I have lawyers worked on this for 5 months. We're getting county commissioners, county clerks. They're all the plaintiffs, and we've already got about 300 on board, and we're going to get rid of these machines once and for all for any election in history.
And did it happen? Of course it didn't happen. But don't forget.
We're winning all over the country. You just don't hear about it on the mainstream media.
We're winning. We're winning. This is what winning looks like, people, okay? You just don't hear about it. Poor fools. You think you're losing. No, you're winning, okay? The conservative movement is winning, and liberals are losing because Mike Lindell is out here every day on this tarmac beating everything he can, just beating himself down to a pulp to make sure that elections are safe for you. And he's winning every single day for you. Such an honorable guy, huh? Not doing it for anybody but you. Not doing it for himself. Not doing it to make anybody think he's crazy so he doesn't have to pay $1 billion. He's doing it for you.
All over the country, you just don't hear about it on the mainstream media.
You just don't hear about it, see? Simple as that. Let me know what you think. Is this guy faking to get out of a defamation lawsuit? Or does he really believe this stuff? Let me know what you think in the comments. Defamation suits are really hard to win, notoriously. And they're even harder to win against public figures or public institutions or whatever. You have to have a slam dunk case to win a defamation suit. Well, Dominion has a slam dunk case against Fox and against Lindell, and that's why Fox settled for $750 million or somewhere in there, because they knew that they were just screwed. It's the end of the line. They lied, they knew that they lied, and they had to pay the money. They had to. Lindell also lied, but he's not stupid, I don't think. I really believe that Mike Lindell knows what he's doing and is intentionally trying to make people think that he's a nutcase. Now, they're going to have to prove actual malice. They proved it with Fox News. Intent to harm the company, or intent or no knowledge that what you're saying is false, with a complete lack of interest in whether or not the company or the person or whatever is harmed. The reputation is damaged. You don't care if it hurts them or not. You know it's false. You're saying it anyways. You don't care if it hurts them. That's actual malice. Mike Lindell is guilty of that. Fox News was guilty of that. That's why they settled. But if Mike Lindell convinces everybody that he really does believe this nonsense, it might save him $1 billion. I guess we'll find out.